we've created this into a lifestyle now. It's not a thing that we do because we're paid to do it, and it's not a thing that we do because we want aroha from it. It's literally our life. It's our entire life. Everything that we do prioritises our people and our land first, no matter what it is. As a woman of 2020 and of Indigenous descent, it is in my mind that we need to only be doing that, only prioritising people and land. Here's Kelly, here's her happiness, this is the line to her happiness, cool. It's the same type of thing with eating. Here's Kelly, here's eating, this is the line to get her food. It's that simple.
Kia ora tātou. Ko Ihumātao te maunga. Ko hauraki te awa, no Aotea ahau. Ko lui toku ingoa.
Kia ora, my name is Louis and today I'm out here at Ihumātao. At the moment I'm standing on one of these incredible pallet forts. There's about 3 or 4 of them down here, plus a number of other little dwellings that have been built to protect the land. Today I'm going to be meeting with Kelly Marie. She's an awesome woman who I met at a Māori and Pacifica food event a couple of weeks ago. She was there talking about her initiative Whenua Warrior. What she's doing is basically going around and setting people up with gardens in their own backyard so that they can grow their own food, be more connected with their land, their whenua, save money on food and also be able to eat better because they're eating straight from the garden. So when I met Kelly, I was very inspired by her story and what she was trying to achieve. So I've come down here to Ihumātao to have a bit more of a chat with her. And yeah, I really want to shine a light on this positive initiative. So yeah, let's see what she's got to say.
The reason I did it is because we were trained and educated to believe that the way to become happy, in those specific words, the way to become happy is by getting a good education, going through university, ticking all of the boxes, getting excellence, getting merits, getting, full honours, then going into your first job and then smashing out the job, getting the best sales, getting all your reports in on time, completing all your KPIs, and then work really hard, do some crazy stuff in your 20s, like, travelling around and seeing different cultures and spaces, and then finding that beautiful fiance that's going to put a beautiful diamond on your finger, buy the house, get the dog, get the, 1 car each, the fancy shoes, the V8, we were at a point where we were going to buy jet skis and a ridiculous priced boat. We had the motorbike, the scooter, the garden, everything else we had. Tick, 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 tick. And then literally every Sunday, my ex-fiance and I would look at our time and go, so when's this happiness thing turning up? Because I'm pretty sure I've ticked all the boxes that told me I was going to be happy.
Yeah.
And then, I just basically got to a point where I thought, there's got to be more. There's got to be something else. There has to be, surely.
Not too long ago, Kelly was thriving in a sales role in the corporate world. She was making good money, but she wasn't happy. A series of unfortunate events, including losing her job and splitting up with her fiancé, sparked change in Kelly's world. Kelly started to explore her culture and connect with her whakapapa, something she had no time for in her corporate life. She took a course on kai oranga, where she learnt how to grow her own food and further understand the relationship between food and well-being.
And I started thinking, hey, what's this Whenua Warrior thing? That's a really nice name. Whenua Warrior. And then Whenua Warrior was born, and it was based around the idea of how we can get our people to respect our land and how we can get our land to be utilised properly by the people to create a two-way street of respect, basically. So people respect the land, and then the land can provide for the people, which will create respect. We're a charitable trust. We have been for just over 3 years. We've been operating for 4. In the last 3 years, we have built 450 gardens in the back of homes, majority of them in South Auckland, and we are now looking at creating a business arm as well. We're seeing that the reality of gardens at the moment and the reality of what we're offering to do for people is not currently available on the market. So with the panic from COVID, with the skill sets that people have, with the hope that they can create their own food sovereignty, we're now seeing people who want to reward us with money, whereas those first 450 gardens we built were for free.
Building 450 gardens with zero funding is no small feat. After a couple years of hard mahi, Kelly has also received funding from sponsors to further the project's reach. It's time to meet one of the Whenua Warrior garden recipients, Auntie Missy. She lives just up the road.
We have just arrived in Waipoti Road in Ihumātao. This is where we built a double garden box set for our Auntie Missy, and Auntie Missy is a literal auntie of ours who has a really big heart, really big home, and a lot of people to fill the home as well. So we were trying to think strategically about what kind of food she will actually need. And her history being a butcher, she's got the bones, she's got the meat, and we provide the silver beet and the cabbage, and all together we will have a massive boil up. So that was kind of the theme behind her garden boxes, and hoping that we can provide a sustainable bulk food that joins in with her current skill sets and her current connections in the community, but also is food that all of the family can enjoy. So Auntie Missy would have been looking after this garden for less than 3 months.
Okay.
So we are definitely expecting some very flourishing kai, because Auntie Missy is a idol of ours, and she's actually inspired us to be more productive in the garden as well. So
Cool.
yeah.
Cool, let's go check it out.
And then they're just gonna have little babies. So yeah, Have you eaten from the garden so far?
Yeah, one of the silver beet's gone already. Yep, if I'm having something, I break the leaves off, cut it up, cook it up. Yeah.
What did you make with that?
Oh, pork bones.
Yeah.
And I cut it all up and I boiled it up. Oh, it was delicious. Sometimes we just fry it up with, if we have like we have a steak, we have the vegetables all small, cut up small and fried up, or boiled up.
Yeah.
And I've got 2 dogs, the little one with the big mouth and the big one with the bigger mouth. And we've got the 2 little goats, and we've got all the chickens, millions of them. And their house is too small. I need a bigger chicken house.
Okay.
That's why I have to let them out, because there's not enough room for them all. You know, I love the garden. It's nice when I want to get out from everybody.
Yeah.
I've got my own little seat there, and I just sit out here and just pull out weeds. It's nice and peaceful.
Potter about.
Yeah.
Did the chickens come in and try and eat
They
anything?
tried. I had the netting right around when they were young, because they used to get in there.
Yeah.
But now they just seem to stay away. I don't know.
Oh,
And a lot of snails.
Snails, okay.
so do you have to come through and pick them off?
Oh
and
yeah. And here, chickie, here's breakfast, and they love it.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah. But this is, I like this. This is nice. It's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my own little space.
Yeah.
Auntie Missy is able to share the kai from her garden with friends and whānau, and she swaps different crops with her neighbours. There's also a bit of competition between them, who can grow the best veggies.
Yeah, every time, like when my daughter comes over, I'll break off some leaves. She'll take some leaves to cook. She's just waiting for the cabbage to get big, and I'll give her one of those. the food is helping the family and feeding them. And it's a nice, it's not a hard work, it's a work that anybody could do, young or old.
It's so cool being able to come back and share the story now that it's kind of come to life a little more, and taken up the space, and to hear a little bit more about your journey in that as well. So we might have to just bring you some more, I think.
Yeah, I think so, because the little 5-year-old, she loves coming out here. She thought she did a good job, and she said, "Is that cool?" I said, "Oh, that's really cool."
Yeah.
And I was looking, I was like, okay, you know, it looks cool. Looks like the sea, all her blue.
Yeah.
See how she's painted the outside.
Cool. Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the Whenua Warrior project? What do you think about it all?
Well, I think they're doing a wonderful job, and I think they're awesome, actually. Yeah,
It's really amazing to see what can grow in the space of 3 months. Now Auntie Missy has heaps of kai to share with her visitors and whānau when they come to stay. The implementation of the garden is done in steps. The whole whānau is involved at each step, allowing knowledge to be shared and creating buy-in from the recipient family. Kelly takes us through the process.
The first time you go around the address, you build the garden box. The second time is the soil, the third time is compost bins, and then the fourth time is seedlings. At the same time, all of those people got up, went to the marae, and then they learnt 4 different sets of classes as well. So maramataka, seed sowing, food storage, and composting. So when they get home, that's all there.
You're getting them connected on the spiritual level.
Yeah, because otherwise it's just a box of dirt.
Yeah.
You know, I've come into somebody's house and given them a box of dirt. If I do my job right, they understand that that box of dirt has a whakapapa. Somebody's mauri and life essence has been put into it. They can create mana from that one box, you know. They can use this as a space to invite their kids plus their kids' friends to talk about food and where food comes from, to plant food, to show them worms and different bugs. And
Whenua Warrior uses upcycled and recycled materials to ensure its sustainability. Through this, they have helped divert a staggering amount of waste from the landfill. It's all part of the kaupapa.
We don't want to use things once like pallets and then have a truckload of it go to Papatūānuku who has to process it. We have a way of being able to use it. We diverted 3.7 tonnes of pallets already.
Wow.
And we're still trying to work out the numbers, but about 18 tonnes of compostable materials have gone into those garden boxes, and that's in the last 3.5 years.
Wow. As we drive around the whenua, we arrive at Kaitiaki village. There is a large meeting house that is going to be used as an education space. Here, guests will learn about growing their own food, as well as the history of the special whenua they are visiting. Whenua Warrior has also been working in partnership with Unitec, so that building apprentices can complete some of their training while working on the building. Many of the materials that you can see here have also been donated. The mission of Whenua Warrior is much, much more than a box of dirt. The land here at Ihumātao was once a thriving food bowl. It provided vast amounts of food to the region, and they were even exporting to foreign countries. There is hope this land can be returned to its former glory.
But it is like a godsend to know that we have managed to stop the construction of 480 homes, because this land actually needs to be used for its fertility and respected for its fertility, and it needs to be creating food, because that is how we can utilise this space to change the food systems of Aotearoa. This environment is perfect for growing food. So the last thing we want to do is dig it up and put buildings here.
Back on the road, and we're about to visit the seedling house. The seedlings are supported by a broken water tank that Kelly and some others repaired. Having an independent water source is all part of the food sovereignty and self-sustainable kaupapa.
So when we first moved in here, this wasn't working at all. It was nowhere near close to working. We've had to fix it. We had to learn how to plaster, we had to learn how to harvest the water from the roof, because this will be what keeps our water sustainable, you know, being able to harvest it from the rain and not rely on public source and not rely on the bill coming through next month. None of that is going to affect us. This tank will keep us sustainable from having to pay that.
During our kōrero, I was thinking how odd it is that the majority of Kiwis have a backyard, but most people don't grow their own food. I asked Kelly why she thought that was.
So, 72 years ago was the opening of the first supermarket in America. It was only 72 years ago. You know, it's 2 generations ago that there was no such thing as supermarkets. I've got stories from my mum where she was the grandchild that was allowed to go into the garden and choose the watermelon that was eaten on whānau day or whānau kai day on Sundays. Like, that's my direct line to the last time our family had a flourishing market garden. And that's only 3 generations ago. It's her grandfather, so my great-grandfather, and my dream is to be able to see kids of all ages, all races, all colours, even the purple ones, running through an entire food forest with a basket to go and collect 5 handsful of spinach, 2 red capsicums, 4 big handfuls of asparagus, and it's for dinner that we're cooking together, and they are so in tune with exactly what those things are, and know exactly where all of them are because they planted them, because they've watered them, because they've been dying to eat them for years, and then they've got their baskets, they fill it up, they come home, we cook the dinner. They understand. That is the ultimate dream. We don't understand how easy it is to grow our own food. You know, it is easy, and it does not take that much effort, time, money, water. It doesn't take very much at all to grow your own food.
As it was nearing time to go, Kelly collected a bunch of kale for me. These had only been planted a few months ago, but the crop was the most hearty and thick kale I have ever seen. I felt very grateful to receive it. At the end of Kelly's little harvest, I'm left with a large bouquet of kale. Looks like it's kale for dinner tonight, tomorrow, and probably the rest of the week. I'm not complaining, to be honest.
When your auntie looks at you because you've just dropped off a bag of silver beet, that's why we do it. When your child looks at you because he's just learned how tomatoes grow red, that's why you do it. You know, when you're so down in the dumps and you just cannot get out of bed because you're just so tired and over everything, that's why you do it. That's why you have a garden, because all of these things happen. And I have learned that on my journey, people don't know that. People don't know that you actually heal in a garden. You teach your child in a garden. You learn from your auntie, your elderly, your kuia, your kaumātua in a garden. This is how you do it. It's not in a book.
I would like to say a special thank you to Kelly for her amazing work and for sharing her story. If you want to support Whenua Warrior, you can find them on Facebook. Aroha nui. Thank you for watching.